Here we go, everybody. Good afternoon. My name is Fred Christian. For those of you who have not met me yet, I am a disabled activist and advocate out of Miami Gardens, Florida. From time to time, I go live to talk on certain issues and respond to them. I have a social media page, not a nonprofit, or a political organization called Hashtag Impact, which I encourage you to like and follow and share if you're not. I think you'll appreciate it, but enough of the plugs. Let's get down to business. I advocate on three basic issues for the past 10 years: healthcare, Medicaid expansion, making sure people have medicine, and affordable medicine at that, and access to disabled services in a nutshell, and home care. Also, do a bit of housing. But my main dedication these past 2 years has been to stopping gun violence. Yes, I am sick and tired of the gun violence. I'm sick and tired of seeing our children die. I'm sick and tired of the madness. What is frustrating me is more people are not frustrated by the madness. So today, I want to start a movement. And I hope you watch this video. No eye rolls, no Fred, we've heard it before, no none of that, please. I really want to start a movement. And this movement is called the How Many movement. And the How Many movement will be based upon my two poems, How Many Part 1 and How Many Part 2, which today I dedicate them to all the people in Philadelphia, in Baltimore, in Washington, in in Texas. I'm trying to remember the city in Texas. In Texas and Kansas City, Kansas. I think it was Arlington, Texas. Yes, I think it was Arlington, Texas that the shooting happened. In Arlington. Oh no, I'm sorry, close enough. It was Fort Worth. I apologize to people in Arlington. In Fort Worth, Texas. There was one, I believe, in Baton Rouge or somewhere in Louisiana too. We even had one in South Florida where I live in Miami, near Hollywood in Fort Lauderdale. So we've had a few, and it's too many. Too many to count, and it's wearing a lot of people out. Wearing me out. Wearing a lot of us out. We're tired. We need you to get involved. We need you to stop hiding. We need you to stop cowering. We need you to stop passing the buck, America. We need you to get involved. We need you to make some phone calls, visit some congressmen's office, senators' offices, even the local people and the state people, to get them to push on this. Because it's getting real old. An assault weapons ban would not hurt anyone if it happened. Banning clips and magazines would not hurt anyone. Tell me, why do we need assault weapons? Can anybody answer that for me, please? Okay, so enough of my mini commentary. We're going to go ahead and do this now. We're going to read you how many. I'm going to break it down line by line, like I was blessed to last week from my friend Amaros Butler honoring her son Mendel, a 17-year-old kid who died of gun violence, walking out of his apartment to go to the store. Yes, 17-year-old who was going to go to college with a bright future was gunned down, and we still haven't found his cop killer. And if anybody does have information on the murder of Mendel Butler, please let us know through Crime Stoppers. There is a $102,000 reward for this. So, okay, let's go. How many? How many tears must we cry? And do you realize that when people... I'll read it straight through. Do it again. How many? How many tears must we cry? How many times must we say goodbye when someone we love dies? How many times must we sigh and want to cry? How many kids must die? How many moms and dads will cry? How many Americans will cry? Why? When someone they love dies? Too many tears, too many fears, too few years. How many more will say enough? How many more will rise up and say enough before our future dies, before it begins? How many will cry? Now, I'm going to read you How Many Part 2. How Many Part 2, which is kind of similar. How many? 2. How many times must we cry as we see the bullets fly? How many will die because the bullets fly? How many dads will cry? How many moms will cry? How many times must we cry, Lord, why, when someone we love dies? Because the bullet flies. Too much fears, too much tears, too few years, too much pain, enough to drive you insane. When will it be enough? What will make you say enough? When will you wise up? When will you rise up? To say enough before our future begins. Again, I ask you, how many will cry? So we're going to do both poems, line by line, and then I'm going to close this part of the segment out with a little inspirational poem. So how many, I ask you? Based upon this week, how many? How many tears must we cry? Do you realize there's a lot of grieving parents out there that lost children? Finally, all the legal proceedings, which inspired how many to be written for Parkland, which inspired how many to be written, are over with. And they're going to demolish that building. And the parents had to go in this week and see where their children died. No parent should ever have to do that, ladies and gentlemen. None. So I'm going to ask you, how many tears must we cry? And how many times are we going to say goodbye? This week, a few people had to say goodbye again because of those 17 incidents when someone we love dies. How many times must we sigh because we're sick of it? And want to cry because we're sick of it? How many kids are going to die? Do you realize that there were 22 young people at that event in Baltimore that were injured in that or shot and killed? 22 to 26. There was young people involved in the Philadelphia incident too. We even had one in Fort Lauderdale where two groups met and one shot the other one up this week. Yes. So how many of us are going to keep crying? Why? When someone we love dies, they love dies. Too many tears. Crying too much. Hurting too much. Too many fears. Okay. I'll ask these questions. Do you feel safe going to a grocery store? Do you feel safe going to your church, a mosque, or synagogue? Do you feel safe in a park? Do you feel safe at a beach? Do you feel safe in the mall? Do you feel safe in your car on an interstate? Again, we don't feel as safe as we did because we're not safe because that gun keeps happening and the gun violence incidents keep happening. So, too many fears because of that. Too few years. Our young people. Alana, Jas, to name a few. Elijah, King, and of course, also Alana and Jas, King and Elijah, and Jada. 5 children died before their age of 7 in Miami-Dade County. Yes, their murderers were caught except for Elijah, but still, we have a few unsolved crimes out there that need to be resolved, and hopefully they will be. And some of them involve my friend Letha Cheryl Bush and her son Jack Brown III, whose killer is still at the large. Tracy Brown and her son Louis Leon Jr., Tracy Lyons and her son Marlon Goodluck, Tangela Sears and her son, all of them to name, and Regina Talbert and her daughter Norika Talbert, to name a few, who have unsolved murders right now in Miami-Dade County who we hope to find the killers of. So we finish it up with, how many more will say enough? I'm going to ask, have you had enough? How many more are going to rise up and say enough? Come on, people. What are you waiting for? You know, they're shooting through windows. They're shooting block parties. You can't gather. What are you waiting for? Why are you letting the NRA and the Republicans run this show? Please answer me that question. And how many are going to rise up and say enough? What's going to be enough for you? I've done videos on this before. I've asked it. But what is going to be enough for you guys? Really? What's going to be enough? And as I close with the first how many, before our future dies, before it begins. Do you realize those kids I named were under 7 years old, some of them? They had a future ahead of them, and the gun took the daggone future from them. Why? Why are we letting little kids die? For instance, Jas died at a toddler's birthday party. Elijah was having his birthday party, and he opened the door and he was shot. Yes. This is not pretty what I do, and it's sad. But we have to have resolution, we have to have justice, and we have to get this fixed. Okay, so we're going to break down how many too. Again, how many times must we cry? Seems like we're crying more than anything else over this issue, but we're not going anywhere with it. As we see the bullets fly, self-explanatory. How many are going to die? This week, perfect question of it, because the bullets fly. Perfect example. How many? Because of 17 incidents. How many dads will cry? Like Mr. Fred Gutenberg, who loves his daughter Jamie, and lost her and is doing all he can to stop gun violence. How many moms will cry, like Letha, Tracy, and Tan, and aunties like my friend Tawana Akins, because they thought who was King's godmother, and also lost 5 other relatives. When someone that dies, because the bullet flies. Too many tears again? Keep crying, but we're not getting anywhere. People aren't getting it. You're not getting it. We're crying. We're hurting here. We've been hurting, but nobody does anything. Too much fears. Too much fears. Too much tears. Again, crying too much. Too being scared again, like to go anywhere. Really, tell me a place that's safe right now. Any of you to watch this, please put in the comments if you know a safe place. I would like to see you do that. Too few years, our children, which I alluded to. Too much pain. Talk to a parent who lost a child to gun violence, like Letha, like Tracy. Talk to one of them, or Tracy, or Tam. Talk to one of them about the sleepless nights. Talk to them about looking at the pictures. Talk to them about it. Enough pain, enough to drive you insane. You can lose your mind with this, from the pain. You can. And when again will be enough? What will make you say enough? And I'm asking this seriously. When will be enough, and what will make you guys say enough? To really, really be tired of this and push for change. And when are you going to rise up and say enough? Self-explanatory. Before our future dies again, before it begins, how many are going to cry? How many? How many of you guys are going to do this? So, I'm going to close this part of the program out with this very simple thing. Act. There's a poem I wrote inspired by my friend Tawana Akins. Now, the backstory of the first two poems I'll get to before I do Act. Okay, the first How Many was written after Parkland, as I was devastated. I had not written a poem in 25 years. And it hurt so bad because I used to live near Parkland when I was a little kid in Coconut Creek in North Lauderdale. And it hurt. This is home. I live in South Florida, and it hurt. And I was crying, I was in pain, and these words came to me after I prayed. And God gave me these words, and I'm blessed enough to read it to you. Now, how many to? Actually, was a gun violent incident in Akron where I live. One of our buildings where I live, someone had a celebratory fire July 5th of last year and decided to shoot through the windows accidentally. We don't know who it was, when it was, but shooting through the windows of an elderly person's home for no reason. Really, people, really. And it inspired how many to. So finally, I'm going to tell you about this really good poem I wrote. I hope you like it, and it inspires you to do something. And it's called Act. This poem was inspired by my friend Tawana Akins, who kind of pushed me to, do better and inspire in a different way. So we're going to do Act now. Act. Don't wait. No time to hesitate. Things aren't great, so don't wait to make them great. Act. For today, for tomorrow. So yesterday has a tomorrow. So don't wait. Act. Get involved. Heed the call so the problem gets solved. Before it's too late, don't hesitate. Get out the gate. Don't wait. Act. So it's not too late. Act. Don't wait to make it great. Before it's too late. Act now, because it's never too late to make things great. So I'll break this one down. Pretty self-explanatory. Act. Do what you got to do. Get out there and get involved. Don't wait. No more excuses. The excuses are old. We need involvement in the trenches. We need involvement with phone calls. We need involvement with emails. We need to make a change on this issue. So hesitation and excuses, no more. Things aren't great, and they're not great when you have 17 incidents in a week over a holiday weekend, which is supposed to be joyful. So why are you waiting to make them great again when we can enjoy? So act for today. Yes, we can be safe today if you act. Tomorrow we will be safe, and yesterday has a tomorrow. So don't wait. No more excuses again. Stop waiting. Get involved and heed the call. There's organizations out there that would love to have the support and help. If you want to just be an independent person, just use your voice and say, I've had enough on social media. Make some phone calls. Just get involved so the problem gets solved before it's too late, because you don't know these days. I mean, I'll be honest with you. Every day I go to the store, when I go to the store once a week to shop, I pray before I go. And I pray I'm safe in that store because I don't know what's going to happen. After Buffalo, after the top supermarket in Buffalo, and after the incident in Colorado, I don't take it for granted going to the grocery store. I don't take it for granted going to the church. I don't take it for granted going for a walk. I don't take my life for granted. I don't take anything for granted anymore because you never know. And no one should. So don't hesitate and get out the gate and do something. Don't wait. So it's not too late. It's never too late, but if you wait, it will be. So act. Don't wait to make it great. Don't be sitting on the sideline hesitating. Get out there and do something. Before it's too late. Act now, because it's never too late, finally, to make things great. So the choice is up to you. You can either sit home and feel sorry for yourself, or you can let others do it and, wait and wait and wait. But there's no reason to do that. So I'm going to show you a nice little thing I've shown before. This is for my friend Susan Kennedy Nanton of Bullets for Life. This is the bulletproof bracelet I made for her at one of her workshops. This was dedicated to people that were shot on Memorial Day weekend down here in Miami 3 years ago. This one was made, this is the Memorial Day weekend when I made this one. This is the one that Susan gifted me when we did our first event together, which I'm going to put on proudly and say, donate a bullet, save a life, baby. Donate a bullet, save a life. Let me fix it. Hang on a second. Let me fix it here. There we go. Donate a bullet, save a life, everybody. Yes, that's a real bullet. You can see it right there. I'm going to hold it up. You can see it right here. That's a real bullet that the gunpowder was taken out of by my friend Susan Kennedy Nanton on Bullets for Life. And you need to check out the good work that she's done, helping a lot of moms and grieving people and teaching our children to stop violence. We need more Susans. We need more Lethas. We need more Tawanas. We need more Tracys and Tracys out there. We need more Celestes out there that are going to fight for this. And then people in the trenches that aren't on the streets like Mayday and Red Letter. And Paul Murray, of course, Fred Gutenberg, that are doing the great work. Chris Brown and Gabby Giffords, and Shannon Watts, of course. We need more people like that. We need you to be like us and go out there and fight for us. So I want to thank you guys for your time today. My name is Fred Christian, and you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and now on Threads too, and even on TikTok and on Twitter. Thank you all, and God bless. And donate a bullet, save a life. Donate a bullet, save a life.